I approach ballet in a sense of it's for everybody, not just for certain bodies. And even taking that a step beyond, the pointe shoe is not just for a specific body, it's for everybody.
The way we see gender in ballet is shifting in many ways. Art is hopefully always changing to reflect the world we live in.
There's a certain generation that was brought up in a very traditional environment with ballet. There's a way to respect that while challenging these gender norms and these very strict gendered ideas within classical ballet. I'm still using these beautiful ballet steps. I'm not trying to change them or throw them away. I want to make new classical or neoclassical ballet still presenting something completely different while still using that classical ballet idiom. And it's how you put the steps together, it's what dancers you put together that make something that's interesting and inspiring and new. You're presenting a heightened version of yourself. The pointe shoe is a tool, or should be used as a tool, to really run with that idea. You can connect with the music fuller, you can connect with the movement fuller, and it just leads to a deeper sense of expression.
I think of the pointe shoe as like an extension of my foot. Any movement that I create, I do think, oh, how can I add the pointe shoe to this? How can I, if I'm sliding on the floor, use that box to slide up into a turn or go down into the floor? So how can we articulate through the foot instead of just being on the foot? When we come into ballet with an ego, that's when we block ourselves off from finding what's beyond that space and how can we explore even more. When you use the music that's outside the ballet realm, like that R&B, like that hip hop, you find so many more accents and dynamics and movement qualities that you didn't know was there in ballet. When you open that door, you open so much more movement.
My desire as a choreographer is to look at the historical stories that are told through classical ballet and make a shift. I've worn pointe shoes, I've choreographed works in pointe shoes, but up until this point, it has only been on female dancers in pointe shoes, and the male dancers have only worn socks or flat shoes or jazz shoes, but never pointe shoes. I haven't had dancers that have had that training up until now. I decided to take the pas de six from Sleeping Beauty that is typically done by 6 women, but in my head I was picturing like a non-binary creature interpretation of these fairies.
Ballet should be this fleeting form of art, and it elevates you to a higher place when you see it with dancers that are emotionally generous with how they're dancing. And I think we achieve that by projects like this, allowing dancers to be authentically themselves. I almost feel like this is a little dance sanctuary, and I feel fully focused on my craft, and it allows me to feel fully inspired and invigorated by the work that we're doing.
Typically, the way that I work is a panicked sprint to the finish line. Whenever I'm making something new, I don't have the freedom to play and make mistakes and then change my mind a million times. And because of that, I end up planning my choreography before I get into the studio with dancers as a necessity. The lab is such a gift to choreographers because it allows you literally just hours and artists and space to try on all the things and just to play with your movement and work yourself into a corner and not have to worry about getting back out of it. Having the time to do that was truly refreshing.
Ballet has a very rich history, and I think it needs to continue to move into our social climate so that people, when they come into the theater to watch ballet, they can find themselves in the performances that they are seeing. Because you don't know who's in the audience that needs to see themselves reflected up on stage.
Ever since 5th grade, me putting on that pair of pointe shoes was me challenging the gender norm.
I hope that artists continue to make stories and use dancers and build worlds on stage that reflect our current humanity. Anyone can wear pointe shoes, and it can be powerful and brave and strong and beautiful.
Whoever wants to put on a pair of pointe shoes, put them on.